what does that make Jason, fucking Dick, and Tim?
They were just traumatized ass fucking children. Damian wasn't traumatized. Damian was raised that way. Those other Robins actually went through trauma. They were screwed over in like some of the worst ways possible. Watch their parents die, all of that. Damian was actually raised,
and they got taught not to take. They got taught not to kill or take revenge, except for Jason.
Except for Jason.
But he had. But
no,
he has,
Jason got taught that way. He just died and he came back a little broken.
He ain't coming back broken. The dude came back soulless.
Well, yeah, if you get killed and then you come back, don't you want revenge? Especially against the guy.
Y'all ever had your heart broke? You come back.
I mean, yeah.
We gotta stop.
Yeah, I haven't seen much on the Damian Wayne stuff. I stopped following DC hard after a while. I don't know why.
I honestly think that's Bruce's
Damian's a point of
biggest...
contention amongst the Batman fandom. It's
Yeah,
like half of us hate him, half of us like him.
Right.
Well, every time I see his name pop up, I see that. I'm sorry. I will step out of the way for our humble host.
Thank you very much, and good evening, everyone. I just want to welcome everyone to Start Button Live, where we talk about the news and gaming. So today, I'm your host, King Anarchy. We also have here on the panel KG Masaroshi, aka Mr. SG Token. We have Hustle Simmons, aka the Stephen A. Smith of gaming, because he hates everything. We also have here with us Time Traveler, and we also have our tech wizard, Mr. Loon. Today, we're going to go over our, our question of the day. But in addition to our question of the day, we have a couple of topics. The main things that we're going to talk about. Number one, we're going to talk about Tencent and some of the rules that have been passed. Just a little bit. We don't like to go into politics too much, but this affects the gaming industry directly. So we just wanted to touch on that for a second. And additionally, we're going to actually just kind of go over some of our best and worst of 2023, as well as looking forward to 2024. This is going to be kind of a wrap-up year, but before we get into all of that, before we get into our questions of the day, our topics, things of that nature, first and foremost, I would love to be able to see the chat so I can interact with each one of you. So we'll work on getting that so I can make sure to read your responses. Number two, I also want to mention that Union Arena is going to be a new card game. I know we talked about One Piece card game last week. Union Arena is going to be a card game that is going to be coming out this year, as in 2024. And they're actually doing an announcement tonight in about 18 minutes, where they're going to have the voices from Japanese Bleach, Japanese Hunter x Hunter, as well as Jujutsu Kaisen. They're going to have Yuji, Ichigo, and Gon commenting on their panel. And so, if you want to, after here, you tune into there for a little bit of excitement for a new card game, if that's your flavor. Anyway. Now, moving into our question of the day, the thing that I wanted to ask you guys, I wanted to just kind of approach you all and, kind of ask. I had a couple of questions that I was battling around this week, but today's question is going to be more of a hypothetical. If you guys could play one genre of video game for the rest of your life, it had to be one. You couldn't play anything else. But one genre, because I don't want to relegate it to one game because we all know how that works. But if you could play one genre of a video game for the rest of your life, what would it be? Would it be an RPG? If you know what an RPG is, would it be a shooter, first person, third person? Would it be something else? I'm going to start with Hustle since, he doesn't like anything.
Stop getting these people think I don't like anything. Yeah, right? Like, you don't get people think I hate everything. I clearly don't.
Stephen A. Smith likes stuff. He likes the Dallas Cowboys. He's not Skip Bayless.
How do he hates the Dallas Cowboys?
Oh, wow. Hate the Cowboys.
He does hate the Cowboys.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Skip Bayless blindly follows the Cowboys.
Right. I'm sorry. I got Bayless's likes confused with.
No, Stephen A. Smith likes New York teams.
Okay, there we go. My apologies.
That doesn't make it any better, but whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, let's go Philly.
Fuck both y'all, yo. Jesus Christ. Anyway, if I could have one genre, it'd be probably like Monster Hunter. I guess whatever genre that is, Monster Hunter genre. I guess that's a genre, right?
No, that's a game. That's a game.
No. There are monster hunting games. Dauntless, Wild Hearts.
Oh, okay.
That's the same genre.
Would that be an RPG?
It's a monster hunting game.
Would that be an RPG?
I feel like monster hunting is a genre now.
Bro,
Is Monster Hunter an RPG?
Bro,
Don't do that. Don't do that. We're not getting to that.
Yo,
We're not getting to that. No.
I'm just saying.
So, Monster Hunter is considered to be an action role-playing game.
So it's technically an action RPG.
I guess then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you do you don't level up, but you do get stronger. You utilize the gear and the parts that you rip off of monsters in order to make your armor and weapons better and to be able to kill monsters pretty quickly.
But I mean, you also focus specifically on like a specific monster in those games.
I mean, you are role playing as a hunter.
So in Monster Hunter World,
I agree.
There are times where you're going to be fighting 3 at a time.
True.
Yeah, but you have an intentional target though. Unless you're talking expedition, you can just hunt whatever.
Yeah, you have an intentional target, but there are also quests where you have 3 targets.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, you're not just going around slaughtering any old random regular ass monsters though. Like,
I am.
You have reason.
I murk everything that walks.
How do you play Monster Hunter?
Especially if it's that what's that chicken?
Kuyaku?
Kuyaku?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Down sight.
I'm gonna be honest. Now you know good and well we have been playing Monster Hunter recently, and if you didn't fight that Rathalos,
Oh,
I mean, yeah, I did, and I killed it, but
but you didn't have to.
So
he's.
I'm gonna be real. I forgot halfway I wasn't supposed to, and I still did it.
Yeah, he's contradicting his own point. Yes.
No, I forgot. That's the reason why I killed it. That's not the same. No, don't try to twist that on me.
So what you're saying is that inherently
because you
it said use your slinger to distract it so y'all could sneak past. You said, you know what? I'm gonna go hit it.
And
I forgot
immediately.
Like no. I want to
hear what you saying.
Yeah,
then had to go fight Arrows after
that. But I'm gonna do this.
I'm gonna do it my way.
You just do you. I'm gonna do me. So
Hustle,
you
Hustle saw Rathalos and he was like Bankai.
So you're gonna go with the let's say that's the action RPG genre.
Mm-hmm.
I'll concede on that and say, yeah, okay.
Which I mean, that's not a bad genre to have because what else is considered an action RPG? Nier Automata.
I guess a lot of stuff kind of falls in there.
Dragon's Dogma,
Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, you have a lot of good stuff in there.
You have a lot of stuff that falls in there.
I mean,
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man probably would definitely. You could make the case for Spider-Man. Horizon.
Yep.
So is Spider-Man an action RPG
Probably
or
is
an action adventure?
What, Spider-Man?
That's action RPG.
We already went over this like 3 weeks. We already went over this like 3 weeks ago. It's action RPG.
Yeah, that's action RPG.
So it is an RPG.
Yeah,
I think so.
You're literally role playing as Spider-Man, sir.
After hearing all the stuff I've heard about it, I haven't actually played it. But thinking about the first one, thinking about all the different things we said make an RPG, it's hard to deny that Spider-Man has all of the elements of what an RPG has. It has a good story. Has a good story. It's got a lot of customization. You level up. There's abilities you get to pick and choose from. Has replayability. Like it's got a lot of things that make up an RPG. So if it's not an RPG, I think if you were for the sake of like, no, I only have one category I can play, I think you could safely make the argument, and someone would have a hard time saying, well, he's wrong. Like,
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. I can safely say that I would agree that Spider-Man would be considered an action RPG more than an
Mhm.
action adventure game. So now that goes into question: what is an action adventure game? Would that be strictly something like Mario? Would Zelda be an action RPG, or would that be an action adventure? Because Zelda, you don't level up; you do get stronger weapons and stuff, though.
I would say Uncharted,
Uncharted.
Tomb
Yeah,
Raider.
sure.
Yeah.
I
No
would
skill
say-
trees, no.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky.
Tomb Raider does have skill trees, doesn't it? The new ones.
I feel like No Man's
I
Sky
don't
is
know about
more.
No Man's
adventure.
Sky.
You don't think No Man's Sky would be adventure?
No,
Oh,
No
you
Man's
said
Sky would be
action.
considered an MMO.
Action.
No, I wouldn't. No.
I
They
mean,
call No Man's Sky.
Devil May Cry.
Oh
Devil-
yeah, Devil May
Devil
Cry.
May Cry's would be action.
Yo, Devil
Yeah.
May Cry. Yeah.
No Man's
why
Sky
you can't
would
buy
technically
skills, you
be an
don't have
MMO, just like Destiny would be technically considered an MMO.
But you
True.
can play it solo though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's online, right?
Just because you can play it solo doesn't mean.
You're right.
Still a
Yeah.
massively multiplayer online game.
I mean, so yeah.
That's
So,
literally
so,
what
at the
MMO
same, so in the same way, I could just say GTA is MMO.
Yeah. I
GTA
mean,
Online is, yeah. but
yeah.
The
GTA.
problem is that GTA relegates you to a 16-person lobby.
So here's the thing, right? MMO. There's only 3 words in that matter: massive multiplayer online.
Mhm.
Like it doesn't have to be an MMO RPG. It just has to be an MMO. It can be an MMO action adventure game for all that matters.
MMO shooter.
Yeah, like
Yeah. Call of Duty.
yeah. So yeah, GTA is an MMO at this point. GTA Online.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the GTA RP would be considered MMO, but again, GTA Online, like I said, you got 16-person lobbies, so maybe not so much MMO style.
Yeah, I all right. I'll put it to you this way: if
Okay.
someone wanted to make the case for it to be an MMO, I would be willing to listen. But if someone wanted to make the case against it, like this isn't like Grand Theft Auto Online isn't something that I'm gonna die on a hill on. Like for this, because I don't have a solid enough definition personally for me to have a strong opinion.
Correct.
I can be swayed either way.
I feel like it falls under MMO in my opinion, but
I'll be right back.
So, okay. In an MMO, right? Because you have to have, like in GTA Online, it's a session instead of Final Fantasy 14, where it's like everybody, right? So would that be the same thing?
but what's the difference between a session and a server? They're
Session only
they're
has
all the
probably
same.
like 32 people, 16 people.
But here's the thing: are we saying that? Because here's the thing: in other games, you can make a server as big as you want to, as small as you want to. You can make a server that maxes like 16 people, if you want. You can do that with Ark. You can do that with any other games out there, and have a small server. So does the maximum member size count as like whether we qualified as a server or not, or is the server just a server?
Real quick, hey APOC, just to call out, yeah, there's no story in GTA Online, but like story isn't what makes the MMO part of it. It's the number of players. So like if 16 players being a limiting factor, wouldn't classify that as an MMO for you, then I would say it's not an MMO.
I'm not going to actually say that there's no story in GTA Online,
There's a
because
story,
you
but there's
definitely have heists and you definitely have like there's definitely story elements when you go to GTA Online.
Oh, somebody.
yeah, I can see I can see that argument. I haven't played in forever. I haven't played in forever. Is my problem.
I don't know. I feel like it's got at least MMO qualities.
Yeah, it does have MMO elements.
right. Wait, why are we
I'm
at?
finna find that out right now.
We apologize for a little bit of technical difficulty. So now that brings us to the next portion of the question. So it's not a single person question, or not a single answer question, but I do have to get to everyone else. But I'm going to ask you part 2 of the question before I actually move on to everyone else's answers. Would you rather have something that you can play solo, or would you rather have like an online game, like an MMO? Like, if that was your only genre, like for instance, you said Monster Hunter, so like that I think has a 4-person hunting limit.
Mhm.
But would you rather play it alone, or would you play with people?
People.
Okay.
Like half the experience is the battle. The other half of the experience is playing that with my friends. So it's
Do
like
you play solo games?
I do play solo games.
Okay. Well, that was the other question. So we're gonna move this over to Loom real quick. Loom, what would you play? What genre? What kind of game?
I want to say RPGs. A good RPG will hold me for a while, forever.
But it's the only type of game you can play for the rest of your life.
Skyrim.
RPGs.
What's the game that just came out that I always pick on?
Starfield?
Starfield?
No.
No, he doesn't.
Edge
Starfield.
Runner.
Cyberpunk?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Cyberpunk is another great area.
It's a first person RPG.
yes, but it's an RPG.
Yeah.
It's also a shooter.
RPG.
Okay, and Skyrim's a slasher. And technically, if you get magic, you're
A slasher, a genre of a video game.
Anything
Yeah,
with
but-
RPG.
But if you use bows and arrows, or if you use magic, it becomes a shooter, doesn't it? By your logic.
Yeah, by your definition.
By my definition,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you said it's a shooter.
well, it is
Only
a shooter.
Skyrim,
You-
not
what
shooter
what
arrow.
weapons do you
I'm a
use
shooter.
primarily in Cyberpunk?
Whoa.
Sword.
No, in general, the primary weapons that people are using in Cyberpunk.
Oh, you
if
just-
you're not net running. I mean, I'm not
Hold
just talking about
on.
you, but the primary weapons that are
No.
available are guns.
I'm about to
But
correct
you-
you on that one, Chief. Hold
Wait,
up.
wait.
Cyberpunk's an RPG.
It is an RPG. I'm
You don't
not
have to.
arguing that it's an RPG.
He doing the thing again.
But you don't
I'm
have
just
to use
saying that
guns,
it's also a shooter. So like it's one of those weird areas. You could consider it an FPS game, right?
First
You know,
person. Yes.
yeah, I could consider it an RPG FPS for sure, but
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying.
yeah,
So-
I could see that argument.
Right. So that means that games like Cyberpunk, games like Destiny would definitely fall in line with what Loon is saying. Like that would be his genre. So his RPG FPS style games.
Destiny.
Destiny be a
Sorry,
yeah.
real quick from the chat, APOC. APOC asked, "Isn't Destiny considered an RPG?" And the answer to that is complicated. Yes, they do lead into the RPG. Destiny themselves with Shadowkeep came out and said they were going to lean more into the RPG elements of their game. They have fought against the RPG labeling for a long time. But around Shadowkeep, they did come out and they did say they were going to embrace the RPG nature of their game more.
Because why not?
I mean, that's what they are.
Gosh, man,
Yeah, they got stats.
this is gonna lead me into a whole can of worms. So I'm just gonna leave it at. I feel like the game would be in a much better place had they embraced those philosophies earlier on. I think it is much harder to. I think it is much harder to pivot in that direction than it is to design with that intent. And I don't know why they ever felt like they had to fight against being an RPG, like a Halo RPG. Because let's be real, that's what Destiny is, a Halo RPG. What, Tones? What?
Nothing.
Bungie didn't want to make
Nothing.
Bungie didn't want to make Halo anymore, so they
just went and made a
left
Halo
Microsoft,
RPG.
and they went and made Halo the RPG. You know, I don't make the rules.
Spaceman.
They did it. Okay, so yeah, Halo the RPG sounds like a pretty dope freaking concept to me. Okay, like I really think that Bungie had a lot of really cool things here. I think Destiny is a great franchise. Yo, Halo would have been the same 100%. No, I think that Destiny is like one of the coolest franchises in terms of story and lore. I think Destiny is one of the coolest franchises in terms of like aesthetics and stuff. And that's half the reason I get so pissed off about it, is because like I think Destiny is one of the coolest damn franchises that's being wasted right now. It's just, it has so much potential. They have such a great team. They have so many great ideas there, and somehow it's just not coming together. And it just makes me so mad.
They had moth people.
What would you prefer to do with Destiny if you had your way?
I mean, I would have, if I could go and fix Destiny tomorrow, I would reassess what we're doing with our end game, like the grind. I would try and figure out how to gosh, some of the stuff I do I can't even talk about. Like I would have a greater focus on PvP again. I would figure out how to balance the PvP out from the PvE finally and stop trying to marry the two together. Because I think they need to get their PvP game fixed to offer diversity in content. Because I think one of the problems right now is that like everything feels catered to PvE, and a large portion of their audience came to their franchise for the PvP sandbox, and like that PvP sandbox is just getting neglected year after year after year after year right now. And then like they'll give them occasional little drip or something, they'll give them occasional little, here's a little hope, fellas, we're gonna fix this for you. And then like for 6 more months or 8 more months they're abused and just left behind. And then they come out and they're like, hey, we have all this new stuff, we listen to you people. And then like for freaking 1 season the game is great again, and then all of a sudden it's like all of those shitty practices come back, right? Like they sat there and they're like they were like hey, we're getting back to listening to yous, we're not going to be as aggressive with monetization, this, that, and the other. I'm not sure if they said that we're not going to be as aggressive, but like after all the bad PR came out, they came out and they were like, we're going to listen to you. And the first thing they did was they dropped a new MTX $15 starter edition they had to take off the market like in a day because of how much negative backlash it got. It's like, one of the biggest complaints we have is you monetize us too much. Yeah, we hear you. We're not going to do any of those things anymore. Hey, what's that new thing we see on Steam? What? That new microtransaction package? Oh, you don't like those.
Who makes the decisions? This is what I want to know. Like, gosh.
My bad. Let's take that down.
Like, who's sitting there? It's like, yeah, this is it. This is it, bro. This is it, Chief.
This is what they wanted.
This is a good idea.
This is what they were asking for the whole time.
Yeah.
That's never what we were asking for.
Like you were talking about this, but it was this whole time.
It's like, hey guys, that's not at all what we said we wanted. At no point did we say, hey Bungie, we'd like you to have more ways to have microtransactions. We said that if you're a new player coming into the game, there's an awful lot of microtransactions like to get caught up and stuff. And like it's like if you were to go to Destiny 2 right now and go to the Steam store and purchase a new copy of the game for like, $300 to get everything on the Steam store. Yeah, sure, let's throw another $15 in there. Fuck it. Like,
what's another $15, huh?
Well, y'all got it.
You don't have
right.
it.
I mean, you spent this much,
So
If you broke, just say that.
So the moral of the story is, I would to kind of give you a more concise answer as to what I would do tomorrow. The more concise answer would be, I would try and address the concerns of the microtransactions and look for ways to make the grind not feel so crappy. I think some of the things I would do is I would try and find ways to add diversity to the grind. I would probably want to do things like separate some of the loot out to be like, one of the things I would really like to see them do is like, I'd like to see like the strikes have strike specific loot sets. So like, if you go to this strike, you're, if you're a hunter, there's a really good cloak over in this strike. If you are a Titan, there's some really good boots over here. If you're, you like using revolvers, well, this strike has a really dope revolver. Like, and I'd have it set up so that like at the different tiers, the gear drops at different levels. I'd have at the highest difficulty, there's a chance to get like special epic or legendary Engram, whatever. Yeah, special exotic Engram. If you complete it within this certain time frame, or you do this, like, incentivize going back and trying to do like speed runs and stuff. Look for ways to give meaningful and guaranteed ways of getting exotic Engrams that are challenging but like rewarding. Not just,
You know what
like,
that reminds me of? Warframe, and the way they do their rewards and drops in the different missions, and the way they allocate them.
So you mean dedicated loot tables?
Yeah, and especially for like with different wave clears.
Yeah.
And the fact that like the drop rates for even the weapon blueprints and parts blueprints, you don't always get it.
Yeah.
It's a good probability, but you still don't always get it.
Yeah, essentially dedicated loot tables is what Time's trying to say.
Yeah, and Warframe, I feel like Warframe did that the best, honestly.
Yeah,
WoW does a great job at that too.
Yeah, like that's World of Warcraft.
Oh.
That's where I draw most of my experience from, just from as a player. But like it's stuff like that. Again, I'd put more attention to PvP. Like, one of the reasons World of Warcraft has been able to succeed as long as it has, in my opinion, is that World of Warcraft does a great job of being a hub for people who are bored to do things. And like that's the most general sense of what World of Warcraft is. It's a hub for people who are bored to go do things. That's what a good MMO is. Like, there is enough content that is diversified for a number of different types of people that like you could hop on with any number of different friend groups and be like, we want to go do PvP, we want to go do PvE, we want to go fucking farm cosmetics, we want to go fishing, we want to go like any number of different things you can go and do. And that's why people are willing to pay subscriptions for these games. Like, a game like Destiny 2, they have their seasonal content drop, and then like you have to grind your face off to get most of it. Yeah, and it's just like, it's not even like that fun grind. It's like, oh hey, we know the PvP kind of licks, it's not great right now. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna have you grind out 100 headshot kills with a pistol to get this weapon.
All right, so
sounds like Call of Duty grinding.
I'm gonna stand up for them, right?
Yeah, facts.
They fixed that a little bit.
Okay.
It isn't a grind.
It isn't 100.
Isn't that bad anymore?
Yeah, it's 75 now.
It's yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you do 100. Like
so they definitely don't have. So they don't have questions now.
I just pulled that out of the ether, and I was right.
Oh, no, they took that out. After,
yeah, so they don't have questions now where you have to go and you have to do PvP and Gambit, and you have to go and do this, that, and the other. They don't do it anymore?
No, they got
that's good.
What was that? It was an SMG that was like godly. And yeah, like after you got the SMG, everybody complained about it because you had to be a tryhard to get this SMG. So they kind of complained. They kind of not gave it everybody, but like toned it down for everybody. So the people that was a tryhard got pissed off at the people that you just gave this gun to that I just spent a week trying to get. So they
Barrier
told
of
me
entry was lowered.
yeah, most of the stuff in Destiny is brain dead easy. That's where like
I mean, that's better than what it was. It was like the thing that made me pissed off was when I was trying to do the exotic for Cade, for his gun. It was like, yeah, you have to go and you have to get like
Rest in
100.
peace, my boy K6.
Don't worry, Cade 7's coming.
bruh. But I know what you're talking about. Ace of Spades.
Yeah, we had to do the Ace of Spades
was
quest, and it was
annoying.
like, yeah, you gotta go and you gotta do this. Okay, cool. And then you gotta go do this, and I was like, all right, cool. And now you gotta go get 100. You have to go get 100 kills in PvP using a pistol. What?
I have a question. Why is this
up?
your example? Why are you stuck on this 100 kills with a pistol? Did you get stuck on that?
That's what it
It's the
was.
same,
Yes.
yeah, and it's the same shit Call of Duty does. It makes me not like Call of Duty. Like, bro, I'm not.
Yeah.
Not that it's-
You
Yeah.
want to know why I got hung up on this? Because of the fact that Cade 6 is my boy, and I thought it was absolutely insane that they locked a story, like a part of the story behind that, because that was like how you said goodbye to Cade. Like it was how you got
Like,
his
that's-
pistol.
That's how you got him to die.
No, it wasn't how you got him to die. It was like
His farewell.
it was his farewell. It was how you got to say goodbye to Cade after all these years of being with him. Like the final thing was behind the sidearm kills in PvP. Yeah, you had to have the right gun. It was such a pain in the freaking dick.
Just playing PvP is never mind.
No, like listen, I'm garbage.
No, this shouldn't have been a PvP
No,
thing. It should have been a
let's keep it a
PvP
buck.
thing.
I'm garbage at PvP and Destiny, and that's
Destiny's
why I got so mad.
PvP isn't that great. If you want me to argue about it, I will. But I don't think that
Listen,
Destiny's PvP is that great.
We can
You know
get
what
into
I'm
a whole
saying?
conversation
Especially
about
in comparison, because Destiny does so much other things. Like they do so many other things great, right? So raids, great, kind of sometimes. Even sometimes.
I like how he was gonna give a
I
compliment
say
and
world
then like
building and
next time,
aesthetics.
Corbo.
I mean,
Raid,
even more to
nice.
tell you, if
Yeah.
you
Backhanded
play some of
compliment.
these raids, bro, these raids are not always the easiest or
No.
most smooth going things. We
Yeah,
have
okay.
spent entire days, sun up to sundown, trying to beat a Destiny raid.
That's true.
That is true.
See,
Well,
But
here's
so-
the thing about Destiny raids. Destiny raids, their raids team is nuts, and they like to push the envelope of what the game is made to do.
Yeah. Like fucking jump puzzles. It's like, why would you do this to me?
They like to push the limits for what Destiny was built for.
Jump
and Goji
puzzles.
Senpai has made all of those points. He said there hasn't been a new PvP map in like 5 years.
we had 1, 2.
Yeah, I
Nice.
can't
Couple
go
months.
into some of the things I know. But what I'll tell you is it pisses me off that they talk as much as they do about some things.
So
yeah,
We had 2.
time, what would your game genre be if you could only play one game for the rest of your one game genre for the rest of your life? Sports.
Yeah,
Good.
entirely sports.
Why?
Why?
Wrestling.
No.
No? What would
It's
you
one of
play?
them. Absolutely.
What do you
Well, no, I mean, wrestling is absolutely one of the reasons why, but
MMA.
I mean, I'm playing FIFA. I'm playing wrestling. Like, you know,
Yeah,
I'm playing Madden 2K. Like, I'll figure it out. If that's all I got for the rest of my life, I'm gonna play them all.
I feel like racing also counts under that.
Yeah,
genre.
Racing does
is a
count as
sports
sports.
game. Yeah.
I'm definitely.
So I get racing games. I get because at the very least I get NASCAR and F1, which isn't the most exciting for me, but I'll fucking take it.
Or then Gran Turismo will count under that too.
Yeah,
And-
Gran Turismo would count. But actually for me, UFC. In my opinion, my
Love it.
opinion, I haven't played the most recent one yet, but in
I
my
have.
personal opinion, the UFC games are the sleeper fighter games of the year every year. I think that they're some of the best fighting games on the market you can get.
And they come out once every 3 years. So
Yeah, and they constantly update their rosters. So for me, yeah, it's like sports
That's
games would be
true.
the easy one. Sports games would be an easy one for me.
See, look, he just said,
and you get a little bit of that RPG in there with the sports games these days.
right. So he
Mhm.
said his genre would be RPGs, mainly like the Fallout style RPGs, but he would also sneak 2K in there as an RPG because of my career mode.
Yeah, it's fair. Like, listen, like if I wasn't gonna go sports, it'd be RPG without even question. I think the only reason I don't go RPG is because of the fact sports games for me are my my end of the day. Like I need to shut my brain off. I don't feel like thinking about shit. I don't feel like I don't even want to watch TV. I just want to like just veg. Sports games are a go-to for me. I can pick them up. I can play as little or as much as I want. Put it down. Come back in a few weeks. Like I haven't touched UFC 4 in a hot minute, and I can pick that up and go smoke some people today if I wanted to.
Yeah, 5 is a little different because they slowed it down a tad bit.
I'm fine with that. Like honestly, like I like the stuff I've seen with 5. My biggest issues with 5 are they. I still don't think they're gonna get the ground and pound right.
So I'm gonna be honest. I love the submissions in 5, and I hate submissions in UFC.
Okay, I'll
Like
check it out.
one was a hand tearing mess. Like
Yeah.
I want Fight Night to come back.
And Goji Senpai, Goji Senpai
Fight
said,
I was gonna say, what was that?
Goji Senpai said
when you gotta hit the circles on your joystick over and over again.
I know that must have
Yeah.
tortured
So
me.
hold on, let me grab the old
Oh.
controller because I'm not going to destroy my new controller doing it. So it was when you're submitting somebody.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
Yo,
that.
how many controllers did that thing destroy?
a lot.
Bro.
A lot.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, the GameCube did the same thing with a lot of its
Is it
games
alright?
too.
Oh yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
He broke in front of the-
I really.
It
dig
is my
the-
old. That's my old Gears controller. It started sticking back when we were playing Monster Hunter Rise. Yeah, I play Monster Hunter a little hard. So like the trigger started sticking. So when I would release a trigger, it would be stuck down like this, and then slowly just go pop. So I was like, I can't block. I can't block.
Mine does that too. I'm thinking about opening mine up and cleaning it out.
There's a pad underneath the trigger in the Xbox controllers on the rear. So there's actually a pad, and what happens is when that pad gets old and obviously heat and things like that, like mine sits on top of my PC, my tower. So with the heat pushing that button down onto the pad gets softer and softer until it actually gets that stick and it's no longer like a slick smooth surface. So it kind of catches the trigger and then will release it when there's enough upwards force. So it's kind of just like that pad needs to be replaced. But if you take it out completely, you risk, hitting the components inside a little too hard. So it's kind of
That's weird because mine isn't sitting on any sort of heat source. It's just literally suspended in air on like a rack.
Yeah, but it's old, ain't it?
I got it back in 2020. Yeah.
Oh, that's not old. Mine is like, when did Gears of War 4 come out?
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's how old it is because it's a Gears of War 4 special edition controller. So the Xbox controllers that I currently have are Gears 4 and Starfield. And
Mine's
I
just a
usually,
basic ass like.
How much
Black.
that Starfield control?
huh?
How much you pay for that Starfield?
I got it when it first came out before the prices started shooting up, so 80.
Oh, that was it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, nah, I wasn't doing that.
Yeah, I did want to get. I'm not gonna lie. I did want to
Yeah,
get that
'cause-
controller because I was like, damn, that shit looks so.
Yeah,
good.
the Starfield controller actually started going up to like 150. Yeah, like it got crazy because it was
That man
a
said
limited run.
150.
And this is
I
not
get it.
150 from resellers. This is not from resellers.
150.
This is from retail.
It's not even a pro controller. Like, come on, y'all. Like,
It's not.
what are we doing here? Like, what are we talking here?
The Starfield headset was also a tad bit expensive too, but
But that's a
I'm not
headset.
sure
I
how much
expected.
that went up. And then the graphics card, GPU, I would have loved to have gotten my hands on something like that, but I already have a 3080, so there was no point in me upgrading. So yeah. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to one of our main topics. And again, we're not going to dwell on this one too long because it's a little political and it's also kind of something that can be a little bit controversial, but I don't want to go too deep into it, but essentially because it's gaming news, I would like to speak on it. So the thing is that over the past week, since between last Wednesday and now, China has actually proposed new rules on gaming. And with these new rules that China has proposed, they are essentially trying to limit the amount of time and the amount of money. So they're putting spending limits, and they're also trying to limit the amount of time that their children play games. They've been doing this. They've been doing different kinds of crackdowns. They did one in 2021, and this new proposed rule obviously will hit the table in 2024. So their new rule drafts would ban things like daily login bonuses, lucky draws, especially for minors, as well as adding spending limits on those games that are to be sold in that country. Now, what I will say is those are the basics. Now, in that country, they also have, large manufacturers or large publishers of games. Tencent, NetEase, Bilibili. Bilibili is kind of an anime company, but they rely on games a lot. And because NetEase makes like cell phone games, Tencent is also very involved with mobile games as well. So these huge giants have taken a nice little hit in their stock price. As a matter of fact, between last week and up to, I believe, Tuesday, after the announcement, Tencent lost, they said, was somewhere around $43 billion. And NetEase, their stock price or their stock value dropped by 24%. They did not have the details for Bilibili, but they did say that Bilibili suffered some losses. So, yeah, I definitely wanted to bring that up. Wanted to kind of get everybody's opinion on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the floor and let anybody have commentary that wants to kind of chip in for this one.
Yeah, and for me in this one, it's a bit of a weird one. If you're not familiar with the regulations, like you said, there are ones that sound so dystopian and authoritative, but like when you listen to them, it's like it makes sense. In sense of like the caps and how much a single person can spend. The putting restrictions on first-time purchases. Like they want to get rid of the discount you can have for to incentivize people to start spending money on games. They want to get rid of the gotchas and the loot boxes and stuff like that. And they're trying to regulate it away. I think that the news reporting. I feel like when the news reports stuff like, especially coming from China about companies losing money, they try and make it sound a lot scarier, because from a Western perspective, and maybe this more speaks to the state of our media, they care more about a business losing money than seemingly the impacts of the legislation on society. Like, I don't think I think it's unfortunate that a company like Tencent loses money in this situation.
Do we really though? I mean, yes, but
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
also know that Tencent is like a mega corporation, and they're almost looked at like the big evil behind games sometimes.
Well, yeah, but I mean, who do you think's gonna suffer from this? The employees
This is
who
true.
work there, or the executives?
This is true. This is true.
Like, I don't care about the corporation losing money. I care about the people.
The impact that it'll have on the employees.
Jobs.
Yeah, I care about that. I care about the shock waves that come from that. Because the businessmen, it's not even so much as like, and like I know the inclination for these kinds of things is to go with like the greed mentality of like, oh, they just want to protect their investments. Yeah, I mean to a degree, but like their employees are investments too. And like at the end of the day, like they're gonna do what they have to do to try and protect their business. Now that being said, like I think it's kind of telling that a decision that feels like it has a net positive on society causes such a shift in the market. Like, I think that's another discussion worth having, right? Like the fact that like these kinds of regulations could cause like an $80 billion route on a market. Like, that's kind of crazy that it's like, hey, these restrictions are going to have that kind of an impact. Like, it's a little nuts to think about. It makes sense. I think that as I talk about this out loud a little more, I think if I have any inconsistencies in my thought process, I would say that I think this legislation will have a negative impact on the employees too, because it'll mean reduced income for them. That's kind of the con on the flip side of this from the corporation perspective. They are going to have to figure out how to make up the overhead costs they might be taking in now to make up for the loss in revenue if this should pass. But that being said, like, this is still in draft form. I think that's an important thing. Like, you brought this up. The final legislation is likely going to look very different than what they're talking about right now.
Mm-hmm. They've actually just approved over 140 games to be released in their country. So I'm not really 1,000% sure how they're going to do it. Like, as far as like all of the games that have been approved, like I guess there was a slowdown after 2021, but with them approving 140 games, it still shows that the gaming industry in China is growing still. So I believe one of the articles that I was reading actually said that the gaming industry in China has grown by approximately 13% over the course of the past few years. So, or over this year, one or the other. It's not an accurate, representation, but still, like, we still know that the industry is growing rather than shrinking. So,
And I get,
sorry,
and I get why the rules are there, and I understand why these rules are proposed too. Like, it makes, like Time was saying, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. It's so, because now we're talking about different cultural dynamics, right, between America and, like, let's say a nation like China, right? America, it's kind of like, I'm trying not to offend a lot of people here that live in America, but like here it seems people are so used to just kind of just doing whatever, right? Even to like the
unlimited freedom, basically.
Hey,
no, not. I'm not trying to say you're used to doing whatever. It's like,
Hustle.
huh?
Would you mind if I take a crack at trying to summarize what I think you're trying to get at?
Yeah.
America is very much about individual freedoms and liberties, whereas like a nation like China is more about putting the community, society, above the individual.
Yeah.
It's not so much about the individual rights. It's not so much about the individual freedoms. They put so much, and again, in 2023, this doesn't feel voluntary, but at a point in history, this was a voluntary act. They put a lot of faith in the government back when they created the Communist Party. As I understand it, partially just because of the cultural values of like, one China is more important than like the individual. It's a little bit of like a brainwashy kind of mentality, some would say. But like here in America, like we are very much focused on like my freedom is the most important thing. My individuality is the most important thing. And whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's up to the individual to decide for themselves and make that decision for themselves. But like I think at the end of the day, like that's kind of like the boiled down summary of like the difference of the countries. One's more about the individual, one's more about society.
And I yeah, exactly. He hit what I was trying to say about the differences between us. But I agree in certain things. Like, I would love to see stats on impact of like what these kind of lucky draws, daily logins effect is on minors, because we know what it is on people who actually have jobs and money, and the stories you hear of people spending pretty much a mortgage on mobile games or games that have microtransactions. So there is an addictive nature to this sort of thing. There's a draw to it, right? There's something that's like very like, I'm not trying to say sinister, but there is a parallel between this and like, let's say, I think we can say it, gambling, right?
I was just gonna say, because the way you're explaining it, I was going to say the way you're explaining it sounds like them abusing the human the human like psyche and like, you know, the reward system that we have basically,
Yeah,
because that's
like-
what gambling is. It plays on the reward system.
It's that dopamine hit when you hit that lucky, but you're gonna spend until you hit that lucky. Now,
Yeah.
so now that brings me to my next big question. How do y'all feel about this method of monetization versus the method that we most commonly see in such as battle passes or you know, add-ons, DLCs, expansions, etc. Like, for example, Genshin Impact very much has the element of lucky draws and daily login bonuses, but at the same time, Genshin Impact also kind of is a free game that then allows you to spend that money as you want rather than forcing you to buy certain things like expansions, like as they expand the game more. You don't have to go out and buy the expansion in order to play more. But they're monetizing in a different way. You have the choice, but how do you feel about this method of monetization versus what we normally see?
Honestly, I feel for one with Genshin, you can literally play Genshin and not spend a penny. But at the same time, Genshin, like any other game where it is gacha and it and you know, spending money also allows you to get certain characters way faster, and it also allows you to get resources that you would normally need to grind your face off for hours to get, especially because some of those respawn times have long timers, like the field bosses. But a lot of these, like with Genshin, you can play these games without spending a dime. But I honestly feel as though that the way they're doing it in China right now, to my understanding, it's basically them putting a limiter on how much money can be spent in the society on games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
So you're basically putting a fiscal cage on the gaming industry by blocking out how much people can spend on them.
Yeah, which I think is fine.
Right. I don't see that as a bad thing, especially if you already calculated not only the budgets and spending from these companies, but also the net revenue that these companies bring in. If you're doing more than just like, if you're not like, say you're a country, you know, as far as like with the gaming industry and whatnot, if you're not in the red, if you're well into the black, and this is not negatively affecting your society, and it also is a positive thing because, like Hustle said, that gambling mentality that a lot of people have with some of these microtransaction purchases and whatnot, if you can stop or stall that, or at least minimize that, I honestly feel like this whole thing is a great way to go.
Yeah. And here's the thing, right? So a difference between, let's say, like something with a gacha versus like something with a battle pass, right? A battle pass, both of them play on two different aspects of your psyche, right? The battle pass plays on your fear of missing out because it's a limited time. You only have a certain amount of time to get these certain items. So it forces you, or rather, it manipulates you into playing a game for long extended periods of time. Sometimes if you want to get that item quicker, spending money.
Right.
You can move through a battle pass. Now, when it comes to the gacha thing, that kind of plays on the whole randomization, RNG aspect of things. Like you want to get that item specifically, and it's like, damn, I didn't get it on that first pull.
So I
Let
want
me
Or
try
you
to
want
hard
that,
to do
or
it
you
again.
want that 5-star champion that's on
Or
the
you want
banner
that
right now.
five-star champion or 5-star weapon, and it's like,
Mhm.
let me pull again.
real
Right?
quick.
Which you already know, the win rate is below 3%.
That's
Well,
true.
they're
First
actually
spin.
obligated to tell you what their win rate is, or how often you're going to be able to pull it. But they also have a pity system where
You're right.
you're going to
10 spins every 10 spins if you don't get it.
Real quick, there
Mhm.
was a call out in the chat from Goji Senpai. The problem is when full price games add FT or free to play mechanics into it, the game as a way to strip the consumer of as much money as possible. And at one point in my life, I would have agreed with you. But in 2023, here's the reality. So long as these games are getting constant content updates, they 100% need to have microtransactions. It's just the way of life right now. We covered this a few weeks ago, but in light of like the recent leaks from Spider-Man, and again, Insomniac isn't doing microtransactions for Spider-Man, so that's not the point of comparison I'm making here. I'm pointing out that they're going to lose money potentially on Spider-Man. I have to see how many copies they've sold, but they had to sell 7.2 million copies of Spider-Man just to break even. That was break even money. 7.2 million copies. Like that's just what game development is these days. So like, unless your game is selling gangbusters at launch, to be able to support it for a year, 6 months after release, 2 years after release, like they have to be putting these microtransactions in there. And it sucks because I don't want them to. But like it's either that or
There's got to be better ways to do it.
I
think there are better ways to do it. Like,
yeah, there is raising the price of games.
I was finna say, like, think about, because when you said
Yeah,
that,
that is go free to
if
play.
they had to sell 7.2 million copies just to break even, if that game was $60, if that game is $60 brand new, that's $432 million.
Can you go free to play on a single player game?
No,
There's
no,
ways.
no.
You could theory craft ways, but like, my point is that like that's a $60 game, but like if you even think of Call of Duty, your average Call of Duty budget's probably $100 to $200 million, if not more. You know, I would bet your average Madden budget's at least 120 million, 200 million. But like, that's not even, and that's not even me like factoring in licensing fees or anything like that. That's just like salary costs.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Craig's right, 100%. Fortnite is absolutely making a kill with just microtransactions. You can do it. League of
It's also
Legends.
free to play.
League of Legends was the first game to really show you can. Actually, the creator of League did a speech at USC like a decade ago. I feel like at this point, and he, you know, his philosophy is kind of my philosophy of if you make a good enough game and you make it free, and you have like a store or something, people will give you what it's worth. I feel.
That's why I say
Warframe.
League is great.
That's one of the reasons I said that. Like so I feel like Destiny 2 should have been free to play a lot sooner. But even when they went free to play, they did it wrong.
Buy this expansion pack. It's the only way you
Yeah.
can continue the story.
It's not free to play, numbnuts.
Semi free to play.
Now, see, Goldie I just said that.
No, listen, if you want to be a free to play game, be a fucking free to play game. Like, be a free to play game. Bring people in, give them shit to do, and they'll pay you, and they'll buy your microtransactions. Like, this isn't a hard concept.
Right.
You give them stuff to do. You make the game fun. You make it like
Bro, I feel like at this point Call of Duty should have been free to play. Because it's been everything about it plays like a free to play game now. Like everything about it. Like I'm talking regular. I'm not talking Warzone. I'm not talking about Warzone, but I'm talking about like straight up the regular multiplayer. It's like if I was playing like what's that shit? Not Warface. The other Black. It's like I'm playing Blacklight Retribution or another.
Oh, Blacklight on PS4.
Yeah, it literally feels like I'm playing that now.
I'd be fine if they made.
Just make it free to play.
Yeah, I'd be fine if they made the multiplayer free to play, and then every year And
You
then,
just
like,
pay for a story expansion.
yeah, you paid like
Yeah,
10, $20 for
yeah.
a story expansion.
I like
you
that.
paid for the
I'm fine
battle
with that.
pass. Yeah, I think there's a model in
and
there.
if you wanted like, you know, if you wanted some of the exclusive event contents and stuff that they come out with, instead of paying for each single one, like the 21 Savage and the Nicki Minaj and Snoop Dogg and all of that, just that's what your battle pass would be for.
I love like one of the
If you-
things. Sorry.
I was gonna say, like, that's what the battle pass would be for. If you pay $15 a month, well, I'll take that back. $9.99. If you pay $9.99 a month, right? As long as you play throughout the entire battle pass, you get whatever DLC they put in that month.
You know what? I think I'm going to stop you right there because here's what's going to happen, right? Somebody's going to hear your idea, they're going to take it, right? And then when you're going to play Call of Duty, you're going to pay $9.99 a month. So instead of you paying $9.99 for the content that you want access to, or $24.99, or if you want to buy a package or a bundle, say you wanted to get all of those skins or the weapons or whatever, and they decide, you know what? $30 is fair. We can give you $30. You got access to it for free, or you got access to it forever. Now you want $9.99 a month. Once you cancel that $9.99 a month, you don't have those benefits anymore. And so now we're moving on to yet another subscription, to yet another thing. We've already had to adjust to our consumption of television content like Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, etc., going to monthly bills. You know, so we're adding bills. So rather than us paying for the things that we want, we're actually creating a monthly bill. Having Game Pass, cool. You get access to this amount of games for this amount of money. And it's not, you know what? The concept in the beginning wasn't even that egregious. The concept became a little overbearing when this service, and this service all decided to adapt it, which is fine. And then every other service decide, well, this is successful. We have guaranteed money that's going to be coming in every month. But then they go, you know what? We're not making enough. Let's raise the prices. Netflix has gone up 3 times this year. And they've also shut down their DVD services. Yeah. But now they're trying to move into the gaming platforms.
And they also made it to where if you have more than what, two screens, then you gotta pay
your ability to share
yeah,
outside of your home. So your Netflix is relegated to your house, your IP addresses, whatever. That's fine. Even though they're going against the things that they said initially, we're used to companies doing that. Samsung did it. When they made fun of iPhone for not including bricks in their cell phone cases anymore, or in their boxes with cell phones anymore, but then they decided the next year that, all right, we're going to do it too. You know, but Netflix has gone up. So Netflix is what, $25 a month now? This is a service that started at 10.
Wait, is it 25? I don't know. I'd have to check my bill.
So it's just a matter of the idea is great. All the way up until everyone does it. And so you find yourself paying for this. And you realize that now you have another set of monthly bills.
Why not? Here's an idea. Why not just do the battle passes the way that Halo Infinite does theirs, where you basically have it forever. You can retroactively unlock things. Just do that. Look, there's a lot of things that I shit on Halo Infinite about, but the way they did the battle pass is okay. No, the retroactively unlocking shit, yes. The way you have to unlock things through the challenges was a little like, all right, you're having me do way too much. But I like the idea that like when you get the battle pass, you have it forever. You get to unlock everything. Because you know what sucks more? When you buy a battle pass, you buy the premium battle pass, and then by the end of it, if you don't unlock everything, you lost everything forever. I absolutely fucking hate that in Fortnite. Like if I buy the premium battle pass in Fortnite, and I don't make it to the end, I don't make it to level 100, I don't get any of the stuff that's unlocked past the level that I got it to. And it's like I paid money for this. Just because I didn't have the time to finish it off, it's like, well, I guess fuck me then. I'm not gonna get anything out of this, and it sucks. It feels kind of like you got ripped off in a way when that happens. But I like the way that Halo Infinite did theirs, and I wish more companies would do it that way. Because look, people gonna buy the Battle Pass. That's just it. They're gonna buy the Battle Pass. They're gonna buy next month's Battle Pass too. As long as you keep putting hot stuff in those Battle Passes, people will still play your game as long as it's fun. People will still buy the Battle Passes as long as there's really cool stuff in the Battle Pass. There's really no need to have it be literally a limited time thing. There's no need to. It doesn't make sense.
Goji
It
Senpai
pushes
said
me
companies
off of
won't
buying.
do that because you make more money with FOMO, the fear of missing out. So if people know that things are limited, then they'll be forced to play the game and for longer and put more time and money into it, because that actually is exactly why Fortnite was raking in money hand over fist for a little while. But unfortunately, Fortnite is still not in the green, because if you remember, the big hype back in the day was, oh my God, mommy and daddy, mommy, can I have? I need these Fortnite bucks or these V-Bucks or whatever so that I can buy this character. Oh, I'll get it for you next week. But it's not going to be there next week. This dance is gone in 24 hours. I can't get this skin unless I get it right now for the next 24 hours. And it was a clock.
Well, the truth is too, those
you're
kids
missing
grew up.
out. People buy now. They don't have time to think about it. You can't give consumers the time to think, because when they second guess their decisions, they don't make that purchase decision.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. Let's say people can still retroactively unlock stuff in the Battle Pass, but you can only buy the Battle Pass between that season. So you can't just buy it next season. What I'm saying is you can only buy it for that season, but if you buy it that season, you can retroactively unlock things in the next season when you have the other Battle Pass. So you're unlocking 2 things, possibly 3 things at the same time, if need be, through regular gameplay. And it doesn't feel like you got robbed at the end of it. Because that turns me off of buying a Battle Pass. I'm going to be for real with you. And I can't be the only one who's turned off of buying a Battle Pass, knowing that, like, okay, I put money into this Battle Pass, but if I don't consistently play every single day, right, I'm going to miss out on the items that are in that Battle Pass. Halo didn't make me feel that way, which was good. The only problem with Halo was the methods that they used to unlock things within the Battle Pass regularly. That was the biggest issue that one of the big issues people have with Halo's Battle Pass. You know what I'm saying? There's a way to do things.
I have a counter proposal for you, because I like what you're saying, but it won't work for everybody or everything, because obviously you need to have that time limitation. So, if you unlock the Battle Pass and you could retroactively do it later, then, that doesn't give you the incentive to keep coming back to play it now.
Yeah, but one thing is you have to buy it specifically.
Yeah, you got to buy it, but
that's it. You can't buy it past
you
that.
don't have that incentive to be like, all right, I got to get on. I got to try to get this done. What I was going to say was, because what I've been running into a lot is the feeling that the Battle Passes that I buy don't give me enough time. 30 to 45 days for a season is not enough time.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you give me more days, make a season 90 days, 3 months, 4 seasons a year.
So
I was gonna say, I swear, I was.
Well,
I
let
was gonna
time
say
hit it first.
Token get him.
It was up.
No, go ahead.
Next token.
Yeah.
I hear you, but I ask you, is it not enough time because you don't play enough, or is it not enough time because it's not enough time? Like what I'm getting at here is the Battle Pass isn't really meant for people who don't put serious hours into those games. The Battle Pass is meant to incentivize the people who really enjoy the game and are going to spend most of their time in it. It's to, like, the games industry as a whole isn't competing with the games industry anymore. It's competing with Netflix. It's competing with HBO Max, Disney Plus, and these Battle Passes are an attempt to get their audience in their game. It is their attempt to keep them off of Hulu. It is their attempt to keep them off of Netflix, and
Which is
in some cases keep them off
reasonable.
of other games. So expanding it out to 90 days, they would have to add more content for those people that they're trying to keep into their system. You, the person who does not complete a battle pass in 30 days, like that sucks for you, but like you're not their audience. You are
Fortnite does
someone.
that.
You are someone they caught. Like you are the
sucker.
Yeah, a little bit. Not really though. Like no,
But-
you're not a sucker. Like it's
No,
just,
but
like,
I mean,
there are
seriously,
things,
like-
there are things you saw and I think you liked and you thought you were going to go for. You bought it, but like the people they're after are the people who are putting 120 hours a month into their game. Like they're after the people who are putting hundreds and hundreds of hours of playtime into their stuff.
Which is completely understandable. And like for instance, I'll use two games that I play. Pokemon Unite versus Naraka. Pokemon Unite has a 45-day battle pass. I can complete this battle pass. The thing about the battle pass is that the game is free. I can choose not to get it. So I don't mind buying that battle pass and completing it within that period of time. I can definitely complete it and then go on to whatever levels. Naraka, on the other hand, has I think it's 120-day battle pass. I want to say it's 20 days.
Fortnite's average is 70 to 80 days, so there really is no excuse. There's no excuse. Like, if Fortnite can do 70 to 80 days,
How many levels does Fortnite have in their battle pass, and how easy is it to gain those levels?
100, but then there's also extra stuff that you can unlock after 100
Of
levels.
course, there's usually things that you can unlock afterwards, but like
Not in Call of Duty, though.
like
I was
Like,
gonna say no.
In Call of Duty, no. Like, once you
Well,
get past
no. Well, actually, during the battle pass, you have the regular stuff that you can unlock, and then if you actually bought the battle pass, like if you're just going through the battle pass stages, you have stuff that you unlock. But if you actually bought the battle pass, you also have the Black Cell upgraded versions of like skins.
you have to
and
buy that,
vehicles.
though. But you have to buy the Black Cell pass. That's
Yeah,
like,
like you have to buy the
extra,
battle pass.
that's like an extra $20 to $30 on top of the battle pass you already bought.
Yeah. And I believe you can also buy the battle pass with CP, can't you? With Call of Duty points?
Yeah, because they refund you your COD points back at the end of the seat. Well, if you get through the entire thing, get through the entire battle pass, you basically refunded your
Right.
CP points.
Yeah,
I don't think
and you
I
can
don't think
also
you can
use
buy
that to
Black
buy the
Cell.
next battle pass.
I don't think you can buy Black Cell with COD points though. I think you can
No,
only
you
buy
can't.
that directly with
You
money. Yeah. So what I'm saying is like you can do. Fortnite has proven that you can do 70 to 80 days with that, right?
With the season.
Epic's financial problems, I think, are just more out. I think it's more than just Fortnite. It's also the free games. They take
I
more.
don't know if it's the free games
Also-
more than it's because you got to remember that Epic is also the company behind Unreal. So
Yeah.
Unreal Engine 5. It could be game licensing. Like if you're talking about Epic as a whole,
It could be
remember
IP
that
licensing too.
40%
Don't
of
forget
Epic
that.
is
That's
also owned
expensive.
by Tencent.
Yeah.
So you're talking about you're making Fortnite, you got Rocket League, you got all of these expansions for Fortnite, you got all of these licenses for Fortnite that you're adding. You still also have all these companies that are using Unreal Engine. You're still updating Unreal Engine on a constant basis. So now we're at Unreal Engine versus 5.2 or 5.4. So you're still updating this game engine and licensing it out to all of these people. That was why one of the issues with Unity was the fact that they were going to try to license per download instead of per game.
Yeah.
Because I also have a thought that it could be that the game license, like the game engine licensure, could be what's costing them because they're putting a lot of money not only into development of their own games, but modification and licensure and improvement of their engines.
Yeah.
So Epic is a little bit of a bad
I think
example.
I was gonna say I think some of the losses that Fortnite takes is the fact that they acquire so many licensed IPs to use as characters. We're talking. Remember now, emotes got music to it, licensed music. So they have to pay the music industry, you have to pay the music labels, have to pay the artists. Let's say you want to have like Rick and Morty, you got to pay WB. You want to have like The Weeknd, you got to pay him for his likeness. You want to have his music in there, you got to pay either him or his label. You want to have Terminator in there, you got to pay who owns Terminator? Isn't it like Fox? Fox Film owns Terminator, right?
But
you gotta pay Fox, aka Disney.
We're gonna read Goji's comment, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna move on to our next topic, because you know we got a little bit over half an hour to go. We want to make sure that we close out on time, and I don't want to be stuck on. I mean, we have transitioned beautifully into into other topics. So this was an amazing subject, and we might be able to broach this again in the future. But Goji Senpai said that Fortnite basically has 3 battle passes. There's the regular 100 levels, and then there's the bonus battle pass, and that's about 30 levels. And every season around mid-season, they drop a special pass. With a special character, of course, and they also have Rock Band, and all of the music that they're using is even more licensing. So licensor fees can also very much so, aside development fees, eat into the budget that a company is using, especially when they're updating games. So yeah, I understand the need for monetization, especially when it comes to adding on content. You want to enjoy Fortnite, you want to play all of these different modes and use these different characters, sure, but you're gonna have to pay, and that makes sense. And so I actually really think that the way that we monetize is something that, like, I don't mind the Fortnite way where the game is free, but you monetize in different ways via battle passes and selling character add-ons and things of that nature. It's all visual. It's not giving anybody a leg up or an advantage. I do mind when you make me pay $70 for a game, and then you decide that you want this game to go live service, and so you want to keep milking me for more money. Because essentially, I don't necessarily mind as long as you're giving me sometimes the content that I want, or the content that I'm looking for, that I'm willing to pay for, isn't necessarily the visual upgrades. The content that I'm looking for is going to be different things that I can do in said game. So I'm not that audience, as Time Traveling would say. I'm not the audience that they're looking for. For me, I have that line between where I'm paying for something that I want and when I feel like I'm getting milked. And I don't want to feel like, as a customer, I'm getting milked by anybody. And that's the only thing. And I think that's the border that the games industry is actually riding. Is how do we maximize our profits without our customers feeling like we're trying to take advantage of them?
I agree with you. I know we're transitioning topics, but like this plays into such a bigger issue that I've been talking about for the last 2 weeks. It feels like now, of games are trying to do too much these days, and it's not sustainable. It's just like how it feels. Like it's.
That's going to lead me to next week's question, or the next time we have an episode. That's going to lead me to the question of the day.
Yeah, we'll get into it later. It's just like this just doesn't have an easy answer. Because I agree with you. Like, no one should feel like they're being milked. But like, it is getting so much harder to sustain
all of the technology and everything we got to put in. Yeah.
It is really hard to sustain a game off of a upfront cost. People have less money to spend, so
inflation.
I got a question.
Yeah,
I got a question. Do you feel as though that a lot of this falls back onto the failure of our position in our economy?
That is a very political question.
What I mean,
Sorry.
no, it's a good question. I don't. The honest to God truth is, I'm an idiot who has opinions. I think that I think it's hard to say that the economy doesn't play a role in it, but I also think that a bigger part of the issue is less about the economy, and I feel like almost the bigger part of the issue is what we've talked about previously. A lot of these studios chase the success that other studios are having, and they oversaturate markets. And I think it leads to a lot of money being thrown into markets that probably shouldn't have as much money being thrown into it. And they're successful enough to find some success and notoriety, but not enough to sustain long term. And then you wind up having these teams of hundreds, if not thousands, of people that are just struggling to survive and keep their jobs because they don't want to go back to working at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think that's a lot more of what it is. I think a lot of it's desperation. I understand. Like one of the things Goji Senpai said earlier was, developers are trying to capitalize on all these things on your FOMO. Here's the reality of it. At the end of the day, right? The corporate suits are not in the rooms making decisions. It's people who have jobs and they're trying to keep them. It's people who understand that, over at Bungie right now, you have people who work on a team that are dedicated to microtransactions, and they know that if the next expansion doesn't go well, the entire fate of the studio could be up in the air. So they're having to make decisions that are really tough decisions, and they have to figure out how to get more money out of people. That's just the reality they're in, and it's gonna feel bad no matter what.
If I can add something in to that too.
Yep. Go ahead, add to it, and then we're gonna move forward.
Yeah. I just wanted to say that I completely recognize what Tom was saying. They're trying to compete with streaming services. The only problem is we're talking two completely different genres of media, and it will never. The reason, here's the thing, right? Playing a game, and this isn't particularly time, but this is towards the game industry in general, in the path that they're trying to go down, and the competition that they're trying to have. You can't have two different genres try to compete with each other for your time, right? People watch a show or a movie way differently than they play a game. And the thing that the game industry is trying to mimic in terms of taking your time, right? It doesn't work in the same realm of watching a movie or watching a TV series, right? I have a bunch of streaming services. How often do I watch something on them? Probably about I don't know, a couple times a week, not very long. I watch what I watch and then I'm done with that, and that's it. I move on to doing something else, like playing a game or talking to you guys or something like that, right? So I think for the game industry itself, it's a bit dangerous to try to follow up trying to be the next Netflix or the next Hulu when you're two completely different mediums, and they should act accordingly to that. Right?
I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I think that some of the bites taken out of it for me, in that the streaming services are struggling right now too. I think all across it. Here's the reality of it. And I'm sorry for holding us up on this topic, but I think the reality of it is that entertainment as a whole has bloated costs right now between where entertainment forces people to live, between the inflexibility of remote work for a lot of these places at this point in time, and I think that too often they're spending too much money on things they don't really necessarily need to spend a ton of money on.
You mean Netflix and spending in the gaming and having a gaming library of over 48 games when they first launched their whole gaming project?
That would probably
Yes.
That could potentially be one of them for sure.
Yes.
I don't know enough as to how successful it's been for them to know for sure.
They haven't started it yet. I believe they're starting next month.
What, the Netflix gaming?
Yeah.
No.
They got Grand Theft Auto up there already.
No, it's available.
They do have it up there already. Okay.
Yeah, it's available. I have Dead Cells on my phone right now from them.
So you remember when PlayStation Store had movies and whatnot and TV shows that you could watch, and then you bought it on the store?
Yeah.
And then it just magically disappeared and stopped being a thing?
Well, we just talked about that recently.
Yeah, well, that's an argument. That's an argument for keeping physical media thing.
Yeah.
Right. So my question would be is that seeing as though how Netflix is a streaming service for shows and movies and entertainment, and then trying to jump into gaming, do you think that would be like a competitive spark to try and basically PlayStation, Xbox, and whatnot is like, well, how about we hop into, the streaming media?
There's one small thing that we neglected to mention. Remember PlayStation having all of the movies and stuff that you just mentioned? What's the parent company of PlayStation?
Sony.
And what does Sony own?
Sony Pictures. They own a movie studio and TV
They
studio.
literally own studios.
Yeah.
They're not actually, they have different divisions and different branches. So
I forgot about that.
putting that on their own product kind of makes sense.
Now they own Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
If they wanted to relegate it to
Wait,
Sony,
hold on, say that again.
They own Crunchyroll.
Yes, they own Funimation and
And
Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll.
They bought
Oh,
Crunchyroll 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Combined the two. That's why Funimation is no longer really a thing.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that happening.
Yeah,
Funimation getting
that was
merged
Sony bought both of them.
Crunchyroll.
like this kind of
Okay.
that kind of ties in a little bit to I'm not sure if this is where we're heading to next, but like just going forward, like I would really like to see studios try and focus more on bringing their budgets down, having smaller teams that are more focused on creating interesting experiences over grand experiences.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't need my games to go bigger anymore. I need them to just be good games that don't cost
Yeah.
$300 million to make.
Straight up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Also,
one.
what would you like to
That's
see from the future of gaming.
that's facts.
That's the next topic.
It is now. What would you like to see from the future of gaming?
Huh. I don't know. Well,
I know, Loon.
I don't know. I gotta think about that one.
You got to think about it. All right. What do you want to get out of 2024 in any aspect when it comes to games? Ryzen said Mega Man X9.
I'm getting that. Why are we not getting that?
How did I know he was gonna make him
don't care.
jump at Mega Man?
Capcom does not care. They are not doing anything with that.
So what are you looking for besides, Monster Hunter, which is coming out in 2025, and
Tekken 8.
I'm
Final
saying,
Fantasy.
like, what do you hope to get out of gaming in 2024, if not the future of gaming? Like we've actually really been talking about the future of gaming and what the gaming landscape is in this.
More fun co-op experiences.
Co-op.
More fun co-op games.
Okay, so I know exactly what you want. So what he's saying is that he wants more co-op fun experiences. Now let me also put a moniker on it that it has to be 4-player co-op.
Yes, please.
3-player co-op he is not with it.
Yeah, all that 5-player, 6-player, like
Whoa. Calm down.
Whoa. More is not bad. Less is bad. Like,
Don't pull out the 9.
bro, no. Sometimes
No,
it gets
calm down,
chaotic,
Jamal.
dog.
what? No.
Like, bro, remember Overwatch when Overwatch had more than like what was it was like
6 was
60 more
fine.
teams?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't want 3-player co-ops, bro. We want 4 or more.
Bro, we stopped playing because it became 5-player.
Bro, 4 is fine. Hell, 3 sometimes is
For
good.
Overwatch?
See, here you go. You hear him. He's
Bro,
the reason why
we
they
don't
give
need
us
that many
3
people.
players in Wild Hearts.
This month, yo, come on,
We
dog.
don't
Like,
need that many people, dog.
wait, hold on. So you prefer 5-player Overwatch over 6-player?
I'm gonna
No,
be
he
dead ass
prefer
honest with you. I
3-player
stopped
Overwatch.
playing Overwatch altogether.
No. Answer the question. That's not answering the question.
5. I preferred 5.
Yo, I'm about to leave, bro. I'm finna leave. Yo, you really prefer 5-player Overwatch over 6-player?
Dog, when I was playing Overwatch,
Hold on. Wait.
And you got this. You got what was that map? What was that map? They got the gondolas with the river. They got the bridge.
We don't know it. Just keep going.
But anyway, you got this narrow field of vision, right? I'm already trying to keep eyes on the Junkrat.
Exactly.
I'm keeping eyes on
Koji
the tank.
Senpai said that as a
Ryan
tank, 5v5 is disgusting. 6v6 is
Exactly.
perfect.
I'm a tank
The
too.
problem
Wait,
is that they took a
Hold
tank
on.
away. So
Hold
now
on.
you, instead of you having 2 tanks, you still got 2 DPS and 2 healers. You got 1 tank.
Mhm.
hold on. Roshi,
Yes.
what role do you play?
Support.
DPS. Oh, he's a healer.
I played
You should
support
be even more upset at 5v5. What do you mean?
because that was less goddamn people I had to worry about.
Heal your tank.
And that's exactly, bro. I focused on the tank
The
and I
DPS could die,
focused.
bro.
Yeah, no, he's not
I'm
wrong.
a healer in almost
You're
every
not
game I
wrong.
play.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong because DPS.
I'm a
usually
healer in almost
is
every
in
game I play.
because
Heal
the
your tank,
DPS was
make your
usually
team
either
win.
like Vanguard. They were either off to the distance too far for me to even heal them, or they were moving around too fast for me to try and heal them and focus on my tank. And I got to worry about my damn self too because I'm in a vulnerable goddamn position and being in between y'all. But having 6 people, it's like, bruh, that's one extra person that I got to worry about, not only on my team, but on yours as well.
Boy, you lucky you
No,
said support.
If you're a
said
healer
DPS,
or
I'm gonna light
support,
your
focus
ass
on your
up.
tank.
Wait,
Don't worry about nobody else. Don't heal the other healer. Don't
Yeah.
try to do damage.
Just
Do
heal the
not
tank.
be the Moira who decides, oh, hey, I got a healer. I can heal myself, but I'm just going to do more of the damage than all of the DPS on the team because I just can. I'm not going to try to heal a person at all.
5v5 made
Yo.
Overwatch unfun for me. And that's
Wait,
the
what?
reason why I stopped playing. I was like, this is not fun anymore, bro.
Say that again.
5v5 made Overwatch unfun for me as a tank. And I stopped playing it because of that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was a Brigitte, so my job was to get out there and smack people with a mace, and then make that mace stretch and use my shield. So I was literally a tank, a DPS, and a healer all at the same time. Because the more you smack people, the more the people around you get healed. So if I'm standing up there with my tanks with a shield up, right, being a third tank, smacking people for DPS so that I can heal the tanks, I'm doing my job. If both of my tanks are on front line, it makes it easy. But they also nerfed all shields,
Yep,
They
that was
nerfed-
dumb.
all healer health.
I was dumb too.
Dang.
Yo, Token, you lucky you didn't say you was DPS, boy. I was about to light you up, bruh. I was about to be like, I don't want to hear nothing from you. You play
Zarya and
Bro,
Orion.
I predominantly play support when I even in league.
Okay.
Okay, but that's
Yeah,
5v5.
but I mean,
that works
again,
for that
I'm a
game.
healer.
That don't work
You're
for
a healer.
Overwatch.
We're healers. Like, well, I don't know how many games you play in order to call you a healer, but like everybody who knows me knows that 9 times out of 10 when we play any game, including things like the Division, I'm usually the guy for heals.
Okay, then yeah, because most of the games that I play, I literally choose my first character will be a mage of some sort. And then at some point I'll like migrate to being a support type. But for the most part, like I do enjoy starting off as a mage and an area of damage at that. And then at some point I kind of get bored of that and I just go be support.
And y'all be
Yeah,
thinking-
the only
y'all be
thing that I can't really
not-
do, I find myself having trouble going Asmongold style and going out there trying to get the big dick damage. Like,
Bro,
Like,
I can't tank the shit. I swear to
no,
God.
but he legitimately, every game that he plays goes, yeah, boys, time for us to make a barbarian. All right, give me the biggest sword or the biggest axe possible, and literally
That's
goes out
typically what I
there
prefer.
and just
Is
wants
that-
to swing on things.
Is that a problem?
It's not for me. That's what I was saying. It's not that it's a problem. It's just not for me.
Bruh.
Whoa,
He
calm down,
hey,
bro.
Asmund go
All right.
ask. I mean, you can either go for the biggest sword or the biggest shield, bro. I come in and I'm like, look, give me the biggest stick possible. Let me shoot stuff at people. All right.
I will admit though, Baldur's Gate 3, I have made like 3 paladins.
Oh, there you go.
Every time I start a game with a person, I make a paladin because that means that I can be out there in the front. I can tank a little bit of damage. But you know, Mr. Loon down here, he over there with the sorcerer, making me wish that I had made something that could shoot some magic.
Uh-huh.
And let's
He
not
shot
forget,
6 magic missiles. I was like, okay. He was just like, hold up, I got this. Just stay in the front. Stay in the front. I was like, Loon, can you come? Nah, bro. Nah, I can't do that. So, he goes, hold on, watch this. Pew! Everything just blew up. It died. Boom. Just dead.
so
Yeah.
so would you
But
say
he's like,
that?
nah,
And this is why I love mages. This
Hold
is
on.
why I love mages.
This is
Hold
why.
on. So would you say? Wait, Tom. So would you say that Token just had the hottest hot take out of the whole year on this entire show? Because that
Yeah.
was
Yes.
boy, that
Less
was,
people
that
is
was a
better.
hot take. Come
Boy,
on,
you
dog.
might as well play by yourself.
That was a scorching hot take.
Talking about 3 players is fine.
I never want to hear anything about me having hot takes ever again, bro. After that you just said, do not put that on me.
You got hot takes, bro.
No more.
Yeah, you still got some hot takes, dog.
Compared to that, no.
Maybe not, man. I wouldn't.
You said you wanted less. You said you wanted less people in multiplayer. That is the hottest hot take I've ever heard.
What
You know
game
what?
was this?
I think
It
it's,
didn't
I
matter.
Think it's,
He said Overwatch was too many people at one point.
I feel like 6 was a lot of people. I felt like 6 was a lot of people, bro. Bringing it down to 5 was pretty cool.
You hear that? Like, you see his reaction?
Hey, bud. Do you need some stimulants?
Like, yo.
I think what it is mostly because, like, for one, I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty.
So then go play
Yeah,
the
one
finals,
player-
bro. It's 3v3v3. You don't even
Yeah,
gotta worry
yeah,
about
no,
it being
yeah,
6v6.
because that's what- Wait.
That's 9 people in a game.
I know, but Call of Duty is 6v6. That's 12.
No, it's not.
Ooh.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, actually, multiplayer. Yeah.
Regular deathmatch, regular
Deathmatch. I've been playing mostly DMZ, dog, and they dropped DMZ from 4 people
Are you
to
really?
3 people. Hold on, wait. Not only did they do
3
that,
people per
they dropped
team.
it from 4. Yeah, they dropped it from 4 people to 3 people.
Per team.
And then
folks, it's been
How
real.
many
to assimilate people, you can only assimilate 3 more people in your. 1 more person into your team. You can't
But
assimilate
how
whole
many
teams anymore.
teams do they drop in the match at once?
Listen,
Shit, I think it's like what about?
I'm gonna
9?
download Halo Infinite. I'm gonna go
9?
play that.
I think so. About
9
9
teams?
people.
I need to reinstall that.
You see
9
how
times
big that
2
map is,
77,
right?
So I would imagine that
You
they
see
would
how
have
big that
9
map
teams,
is.
which means 30 teams, 30 people.
I need to try Infinite again. I heard it's improved Dread.
Oh,
Same, I
22.
need- I- same,
22
I need to
teams
do
to
that
3.
too.
22 teams to 3.
You said 22 teams, 3.
How big?
DMZ
map?
does 22 teams
22
of 3.
teams of 3 in DMZ.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the maps are too big for just teams of 3. I'm gonna be for real.
But
Those
you
maps
can
are
assimilate
way
other
too
people
big
into your team.
3.
No,
can
no,
literally-
no. You can only assimilate 1 person from any team. So your team max can only go up to 4.
Oh, it
You
can't.
can't bring. Nope.
Oh, it
Not
can't.
current DMZ. Not current DMZ.
Okay, so they nerfed it from 6 people.
They brought it down. They nerfed it. You can only bring 1 person.
That's stupid. That's dumb. That's
They did it like that because people are abusing the fact that once you can assimilate into 6 people and you ride around in fucking MRAPs, you just murk everyone.
okay, but that still requires 2 teams. That requires 2 random teams to not kill each other and merge together.
Well,
How
if you're
often does that
token, then when somebody downs you, you go, hey, I don't want to be on my team anymore. Can you bring me? Can I join you? I've literally watched him do it. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm streaming
Yeah.
right now. The dude was like, "Oh, you're streaming right now? All right, we'll get you up."
bro literally picked me up, and you know
Yeah,
what I
you
did?
know how many times people are big
20
for
seconds
mercy?
later,
goes,
he
"I'll
gave
tell
me
you
all
what my
my
team
stuff
is
back,
now."
and I sniped my teammates.
Yeah, you know how many times people beg for mercy and then we still ended up killing them anyway? Numerous times.
I
Yeah.
don't know who we is.
Hey,
Me, Pops,
it
and
never
Pops.
hurts to ask. It never hurts to ask. All you can do is ask. The worst you can get is a no.
And then killed.
Yeah.
So
And I
anyway,
can get all my stuff back next match.
moving forward. So I just want to say that we've actually discussed, like, especially throughout the month of December, we've discussed the video game awards. We've discussed how good this game is or how good that game is, and like what the critics say and what the reviewers say. I got a question for each of you. What is the best game experience that you have had in 2023? We have had a long year of amazing games. What would you say is like your best gaming experience of 2023? Like, what's your best action adventure game? Your best RPG? Your best shooter? Tolkien, we already know. League of Legends, Call of Duty.
No. My best experience in 2023 would have to be me sitting down and playing Persona. That's it.
So your best gaming experience is Persona 5?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like, straight up. I just get lost in it.
Mm.
I know how it goes. I have over 150 hours into the game and still ain't beat it.
The game is amazing. And I can't wait for Persona 3 Reloaded.
Okay. Hustle.
Me? My best gaming experience of 2023 is that first reveal trailer of Armored Core 6, and then the realization of actually getting to play Armored Core 6.
So Armored Core 6 is your best gaming experience of 2023.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The second best is obviously Phantom Liberty. But here's the thing. How long has it been between Armored Core games? And I'm a huge Armored Core fan.
10 years.
You said, oh,
10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the
10
last
years.
Armored Core was
10 years. You have to
2012.
understand the mindset of the average like person in the Armored Core community. We thought we were never going to get another Armored Core game ever again because all the Souls games were taking off like gangbusters. They were selling like hotcakes.
Everybody loves Souls games.
becoming
Not
FromSoft's
everybody, but
bread and
many
butter.
people love Souls games.
So everybody in the Armored Core community is like, man, we ain't never gonna get no Armored Core 6. Who like they don't care about us. They forgot about us. Whatever. It's just a pipe dream if it ever happens. And then we got that first reveal. First we got a leak. And everybody's just like, this is fake. This isn't real. They're not gonna make an Armored Core. Why would they make an Armored Core 6? Elden Ring has done amazing. The Souls series is what makes them all the money. And then that first trailer
came out at the Video Game Awards last year.
It felt. You have to understand where I was in my state of mind when I was watching.
His is Baldur's Gate 3.
I can understand that.
Baldur's Gate 3, I probably would play it.
Like for me,
we really need to get y'all to play Baldur's Gate 3, bro.
I know I don't have it. I'm gonna play it. I don't have it yet. But for me,
it's just and it's like the lowest price that it's ever been, and probably the lowest price that it will ever be at $53.
$35?
$53.99.
Oh,
I gotta say,
it's a 10% discount. It's crazy that this game at a 10% discount feels like such a sale. I mean, when you're playing it on console, it's $70, but when you're playing it on PC, it's $60. But it actually went on discount for $53 and some change. So,
but yeah, so for me, it was Armored Core 6 because that trailer felt unreal.
Yeah,
I almost didn't want to believe it was true. I was like, holy shit, it's real.
How about you, Time?
It's a good question. I've been thinking about it since I realized it was going to be a thing today, and I don't have a satisfactory answer. I don't think, just because I haven't played as much as I'd like to. It,
I don't know.
I would say the thing that's sucking me in right now is Cyberpunk. And I have put it down and picked it back up a few times this year because of Stadia going away because of just not having time to do it with my PlayStation. But now I got it on my PC, and I've already put
And your
almost.
saves cross transfer.
I didn't even know that. I just started over. But like I've already almost got 30 hours into this new save, which is double what I had in the last one easily.
I think the dogs are
the
Dog was like, what?
Double what I had in the last one easily. Outside of that, and again, this is an extreme bias. I would say World of Warcraft. If I was gonna pick one thing, seeing World of Warcraft come back to life the way it has this year, outside of the fact I work there, just like as a fan of the franchises, as someone who's had these games in my life, my
whole
for
life.
most of my life, yeah. It's been crazy seeing what World of Warcraft is doing right now between classic and retail. Like the whole story of Blizzard this year, like it feels like a studio that's back to being what it should have been.
Like a redemption story,
yeah.
like a redemption arc or whatever.
Yeah. So World of Warcraft, followed by Cyberpunk, followed by just in general the whole Blizzard journey this year. I would say it's been like my highlights of gaming this year. Like going to BlizzCon for my second time this year was a huge highlight for me. 2023 has been just a phenomenal year for the industry. Like I don't have a whole lot of individual things I can call out, but there are so many things we're celebrating. It's been
King Kong.
a crazy goddamn year.
Alex on the water, my good buddy Solidus said AC6, BG3, and Street Fighter 6. Again, amazing fighting game with an adventure mode that has expanded itself beyond,
Every new character, they keep adding more stuff into the adventure mode, which is crazy.
Yep, and we expected that. BG3, like, come on, the freedom to get out of Baldur's Gate, and then Assassin's Creed, Armored Core 6, bro. Somebody cut my tongue off. Don't do that, please. But Armored Core 6, Walking Dead Destinies. Anyway, Armored Core 6. It again, like, and to be honest with you, all of these are amazing titles, amazing games. Like I've played them all, except for World of Warcraft. I won't play that now.
You play Walking Dead?
No, that was an obvious joke.
Oh.
But anyway,
I've
played Armored Core. I've played Baldur's Gate. I've played Street Fighter 6. I played the Final Fantasy 16. I played Tears of the Kingdom. You know what? One of the games that one of my best moments of 2023, and I'm going to be completely honest, this is probably going to be a hot take for various reasons, but one of my favorite moments of 2023 was early in the year. I actually got to live out one of my younger fantasies of being like a witch or wizard and going into the wizarding world. Hogwarts Legacy definitely did a thing for me. I got to experience that interactively. It's something that I never played the older like Harry Potter games. Didn't even really know they were a thing that big, but creating my own character and being in that world it was cool. I could do without controversy. Like I just stuck with my own guns, but that was probably my moment. But again, that goes back to, me being a fan of the world, the lore, the elements from the beginning Another thing, a title that actually absorbed me that I didn't know was going to absorb me, is a relatively new title, and that is Warhammer Rogue Trader. Very oftentimes when I find myself having a couple of minutes of free time, I'll go into Rogue Trader. I'm not even that far into the game, but I'll find myself just booting up Rogue Trader, walking through some stuff and just doing some stuff, and then boom. You know, similar to how people are saying about Cyberpunk. It's not Cyberpunk, but about Baldur's Gate. It's not of the same level, but it definitely. If I had to say anything, I'll say that even though Warhammer seems to be a bit more complicated, it's a lot easier for me to get into than Baldur's Gate because I feel like the gravitas of my decisions in Baldur's Gate could destroy my playthrough, whereas I know the same thing applies in Warhammer, but because there aren't many voice lines, I don't feel it as much. And I finally was able to put into words and figure out how I could describe how I felt about the two games that were in the same genre but felt completely different to me. So, with that being said, I want to give Loon, you got the floor for a minute.
Would be awesome if I was off mute. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 would be my top game of the year. And Hogwarts Legacy was a gem for me for being a Hogwarts nerd.
Bro, I still got my wand over here, so like from London, like
I'm back, bitch. I was like, go ahead.
Spectre Patrona.
But yeah,
I thought Hogwarts Legacy was gonna have a PvP the way that everybody was hyping it up. I think they missed the opportunity for you know, gangs being for a GTA version of Hogwarts.
could you imagine Hogwarts Online? Hogwarts RP. Oh my gosh.
Imagine somebody rolling up for Slytherin.
Yo, what's in your pockets?
On the dead cloaks, homie.
Oh god.
Yeah, Slytherin, bro.
Oh god.
You in the wrong.
Missed it.
Hey, you in the wrong neck of the woods, bro. Hey, call my spiders.
We be out here all day. Parcel tongue. Anyway. Anyway, so that's enough Harry Potter from us for today. And Harry Potter related items. Anyway, yeah, so I definitely understand. And so with that, what I would like to do is I would like to just provide closing. Does anybody have any closing words before I go into our closing statements?
No,
I don't have anything.
I do have something to say about Overwatch. Token, you're insane.
Everybody just mad. Like,
So
No,
I'm
come
listening
on.
there, but I can't talk. I'm like pulling my dreads out. Like, you really?
Yes,
Javi?
yes.
no,
I
Stand by it. I don't care. I
That's
don't
what I'm
care.
saying.
I stand by it. I stand by
you
it.
can
Bye,
you can stand by it and still be wrong.
You can stand on it.
That is insane.
But
Don't
you
think
can stand
this
on
desk
in
right now.
water because
I'll
it's
climb on
not
this desk
solid
right
ground
now.
under your
I
feet.
stand on business.
No one's saying you
Nah.
can't stand on your opinion.
Nah.
You can still
You
stand on your
stand on
opinion
yellow.
and be wrong. Like,
I
okay,
was out here struggling. You-
yo, it's your right as an American to be wrong.
Yes.
like with
I love,
5v5,
I love
All
that.
right, with 6v6, most of us here were actually playing competitively. Like
Yep.
we were playing ranked, and we were like really playing at least on a competitive level. With 5v5, all of us felt like this game is over.
Mm-hmm.
Can't play it no more.
It sucked the
'Cause
soul out.
you already got like one healer that's trying to be a DPS every game.
It wasn't me.
So it's
Well, I was gonna say, why you looking off into the distance, bro?
and then
Oh,
sometimes
Because I played Moira.
Oh,
yeah,
that's why.
God, yes, her
Okay.
I
Sometimes
healed as
she
Moira as
needed-
well.
to be the
Mm.
DPS sometimes. So it was like, at least I got another tank.
Yeah. At least take the heat off me.
Some.
But once but once they took out the other tank, it's like, oh yeah, get him.
Yeah.
Everybody
Stay on
jumped
him.
on that tank.
And he has less shield now too.
Reinhardt.
Mm-hmm. I was a Reinhardt man.
Anything. Less shields, less health.
Bro, I was a
They got
Reinhardt man for the
characters.
longest time too.
guys.
And once they nerfed his shield, I was like, well, shit.
Yeah, they got
Yes, I'm
characters
done.
made specifically to break shields, aka Reinhardt shield. Like, this-
Damn.
Oh, I played every now and then, but I play for Honor too, so you know.
Yeah, so he
self-hate
likes
is real.
punching himself.
I just
on
want
purpose.
you to bring back 6v6. That's all I want. Like, just give me the option to do it. Just why can't I have the option to have? You know what? Close. Just do closest.
I
I
okay, so I understand with 5v5. I understand with 5v5. If people knew how to play the game, like if it was 5v5,
No, it needs to be 5v5 with 1 DPS.
Solo queuing. Yo,
if
solo.
it was 5v5, one tank, two
No.
healers, and 2 DPS, right? If
That's
those
what it is
two
now.
healers would
Yeah,
do
I
their
like that.
job, it would be awesome.
Yeah,
I like
but
that.
that
They
ain't,
don't like it. Don't play.
that is not the case
That ain't it.
at all.
2 healers feel like I'm finna be Superman.
Because one healer wants to be
Dealt
Kiriko
with.
and the other healer wants to be Moira, and so
So-
one is going to be throwing kunais all over the world, and the
Oh.
other one is going to be just going to be using their little poison zapper thingy, and nobody's
You know what
going
I could? You know what I could go with? One tank, 2 DPS. What?
No.
Why you say no?
because what you about to say is something crazy. You
One
about to say something
thing
that
is
makes me
not
think that you on something. But go ahead, finish your statement. Because you about to say one healer.
And one healer? You weren't finna say that.
Yeah.
He was finna say that. I
One
knew it.
tank, one
How-
tank,
Bro,
2 DPS,
And one healer.
1 healer, and your 5th is just throw it up as an option.
no.
God,
No,
Fuck it.
because that means
Fuck
3 DPSs, 1 tank, 1
You
healer.
know what, man? No, you're not talking about Overwatch no more.
That's an overgeneralization. That's an overgeneralization because that's not always the case.
Hold
I
on,
just
hold
wanna
on, hold
throw
on.
out there
Let time
well,
cook.
Well, no, I just want to throw out there for our live studio audience. This is why some people don't make it past the interview process for jobs in design.
Oh, I just want you to.
That is crazy.
Like, if you're curious, like this kinds of conversations right here, like where someone just shows their whole ass, like this is it.
This
So
is insane.
All right, so correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct
Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Hold on. Wait. I got a question.
What?
So when it first came out, I'm talking about the first one, not the second one. When it had like random characters, we had double characters and all that shit.
You had a stage full of reapers.
Yeah,
Space for
you
Reapers.
played that?
Stage full of Junkrats using their ults.
Cassidy's.
Yeah, Cassidy. Yeah.
Junkrat wasn't as oppressive back
We
then.
need structure.
Mm,
We can't have no random.
Which that's fun as that's fun as an optional mode, but as a main
Well,
game,
main-
no. That is horrible. That is
Especially when it's
unfun.
competitive.
And you're saying
Toxic.
you're saying the 5th spot is
toxic.
randomized. Like
That is
someone gets to choose
toxic.
whatever. You know what they're gonna choose?
Fifth.
Violence.
Hold
They're
on,
gonna
violence.
choose violence.
Yeah,
Choose DPS.
they can choose violence or they can stick to what their guns are naturally.
No. No, they're gonna use DPS. No,
You
they're gonna
got faith in people.
That's not.
That's
they're gonna
right.
Yes.
You're right.
Wow.
I do.
That
They're
ain't
not
it.
gonna choose no
I didn't
healer.
play
Not gonna choose a tank. They're gonna choose DPS. That's how it always goes.
Yep.
Just do structure, but you know how unfun it is to have one tank, 3 DPS, 1 healer.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I know
on
how
the next
how
episode
less
of
fun it
Star
is.
Button Live,
Look,
we're gonna
remember, I
make sure
do
that
play.
Token is not on whatever he is on
Damn.
today. Because it is not one. He is not on one. He is on something. I don't know what it is, but we are going to make sure that Token is not on whatever he was on today. Yikes. This is a hot take. Yeah. So what I would like to say is in closing, I want to thank everybody for being with us on this journey. I want to thank everybody for the support throughout 2023. I know that we've only been doing this for but a few weeks, and I really come to hope that throughout 2024 we'll grow together and you'll love us and we'll have a lot more content for you. So we hope that you've had great holidays. We look forward to being here with you for quite a while. And so I will say this, we're not 1000% sure that we're going to give you a show next week. We want to try to wait for a little bit of gaming news to pile up for us. Usually the beginning of the year is when things start to pick up, but it's been relatively slow. But we would love for you to disconnect with us. We have a Discord where you can actually talk to us individually or comment or whatever. If you have ideas or suggestions, feel free to join us in the Discord. Hit us up on our social medias. As you can see, our names are underneath us. If you want to find me on Instagram, it's king.anarchy. If you want to find me on Twitch, you can find me at The King of Anarchy. So I have an Instagram that is also The King of Anarchy as well, but everybody's socials are pretty much underneath them. And in closing, I just want to say that remember, to achieve your goals, sometimes all you have to do is press the start button. And have a great night.
Hey, y'all.
Bye,
See you
everybody.
later.